Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So I wanted to respond to a comment that I received on one of my videos, and it wasn't a hate comment, so it's not going to be my snarky video response, but I did want to make a video and respond to this comment because I see this misinformation circulating online in the support groups all the time, and it's so heartbreaking that people's doctors are not setting them up for success, specifically when it comes to titration. So I'm going to put the comment on the screen here for you, and I'm also going to read it. So this was on my Should I Titrate Up in Dose video. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. And this person wrote, Lily wants people on Zepbound to be on a maintenance dose at the highest tolerable level. Now, this part of this person's comment here is slightly inaccurate. Eli Lilly doesn't care what you do as long as you're buying their medication, right? So they don't care if you are on the lowest dose and using it for maintenance, or the highest dose and using it for maintenance, or somewhere in between. They do not care. They just want you to purchase their medication. So specifically when it comes to maintenance, you want to ensure that when you are in the maintenance phase, that you are using whichever dose works best for you and does not make you lose more weight, right? Because the whole point of maintenance is that you've lost the weight, you are now a healthy weight, right? Assuming a lot of your other health conditions are now in check, now we've entered maintenance mode. And so what you want to do is you want to find a dose that works well for you so that you can then maintain that weight loss, right? Or in the case of diabetics who would not be on Zepbound, we're on Mounjaro, but in the case of diabetics, specifically, it would be whichever dose is working for you. You're not losing weight, right? Because you've reached your goal weight, and it continues to control your A1C. So there are a lot of factors to this, but it has nothing to do with the highest tolerable level, because the highest tolerable level that we have data for is 15. And there is no such rule in existence anywhere that says that you have to be on 15 and stay on 15 for maintenance. So, but we'll get more into that in a minute. The higher the dosage level, the higher percentage weight loss. So this information is outdated. This comes from the original studies where they found that a significant number of the participants did not lose significant weight until higher dosage. So that's where this comes from. So it's not completely inaccurate. What they're referencing here was what the data showed. However, that was many years ago. We have much more information now, and what doctors have found and what patients have found is it doesn't matter the level of the dose, it matters what works for you as an individual. And that is the part where your average Joe reading this comment or reading something similar in a support group is going to think, oh, I have to hurry up and get to the highest dose so that I can lose more weight. It doesn't work that way. So it's challenging and it's easily misread, because if this was true, then I would be a medical miracle, because I've only ever taken Mounjaro 2.5 and 5, and I have lost so close to 70 pounds So if this were the case, we wouldn't see the huge numbers of people that are able to lose a significant amount of weight at lower dosages. For example, I've referenced a woman before who likes to post in the support groups, and I love when she does. She lost 136 pounds and never went any higher than Mounjaro 2.5. And many other people have had similar success with Semaglutide, right? With Ozempic Wegovy. So this information is outdated. And this is why I encourage people to do their own research, because if this person had done any research, they would know that this is outdated information. Please don't spread falsehoods. I'm not. So, unfortunately, many people are under this misunderstanding that you have to hurry up and get to the highest dose, that you have to stay at the highest dose, that's where you're going to lose the most amount of weight, and that's just not accurate. So what ends up happening is that people blow through all the doses trying to get to that highest dose, thinking, okay, I gotta hurry up and get through this, I gotta suck it up with all the side effects, I just gotta go, I gotta go. And what ends up happening is they get to that highest dose and their body becomes acclimated to it at some point, which we are currently not able to predict when that will happen. And the medication levels out and they stop losing weight, or they stop having A1C control, and now there's nowhere for them to go, right? Because specifically with Zepbound, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, it is the double whammy, right? It has the two components. So many people switch over to Semaglutide. Some of them have success, but many don't, because then you're only dealing with the one active ingredient. So it's really challenging, and I work very, very hard whenever I see these posts in support groups to jump in there and say, hey, just so you know, that's outdated information. That's not how this works. You should stay on each dose as long as it's working for you, and only move up if it's not working for you in some aspect. If you're not having blood sugar control, if you're a diabetic, if you are, having, you're not having appetite suppression, you're not feeling full, right? All the things, and I could go through all the stuff. But really, you want to stay at the lower doses as long as you possibly can, so that it leaves you all of that room to move up as you need it. And some people do need to go through the doses quickly, especially at the bottom, because they're not seeing any weight loss until 7.5 or 10 or 12.5. So that is true for some people. And again, if you're working with a doctor who knows what they're talking about, they can guide you through that and say, okay, this dose is not working for you, let's go ahead and bump up to the next one. Okay, this dose is working for you, let's stay here as long as we can. It's not a race. It's not a who can get to the finish line first and the fastest with the most weight loss. It's a long game. And I think that people really lose sight of that when they read information like this that people comment online. Viewers should take what a lady on YouTube video that is handing out medical and drug dosage advice with a grain of salt. That's true. 100%. And I have said that multiple times. First of all, I'm not giving out medical advice. I always tell people to talk to their doctor. But unfortunately, we are in a tricky situation where a lot of general practitioners are giving out prescriptions for this medication with little to no guidance. And so people turn to the internet to try to help them, and that's what I'm trying to do. I always encourage people, and if you are one of my subscribers, you already know this. I always encourage people to do the research on their own. Unfortunately, I find that the majority of people, not my followers, because you guys are fantastic, but the majority of people are like this person, and they don't do it. they don't do the research, they don't take the time, right? Because it's time consuming. And you have to filter through all the garbage. You have to filter through, study after study, which can be complicated to read, especially for individuals who are not comfortable reading that type of material and deciphering it. A lot of times you have to take, I know I do, I take extensive notes and then compare notes from one study to the other. It's time consuming. Most people are not going to do that amount of legwork. So when I say I've done the research, this is what I'm finding, I am just another piece of the puzzle to try to help you, the viewer, put things together. But it is on the responsibility of the viewer to do the research, right? To talk to your doctor. It's all very important. So I don't have any problem with the last line of this comment because I 100% agree. Not that I'm giving out medical advice or drug dosage advice, but I am giving you kind of that jump start to get you going and say, hey, this is outdated information, you need to do some research. And then it is on you, my lovely viewer, to go ahead and do that. And the thing is, when that first study was done, it's just the first study. They are continuing to do studies and more information is coming out. When this first came out, it was just for diabetics, like myself. Now we've got diabetes, weight loss, sleep apnea, heart conditions, kidney conditions. I mean, the list, I could go on and on and on. The more they study how these medications work and how they're improving our lives, the more information will be released, right? So absolutely take everything you hear or read with a grain of salt, because you will see comments like this where people are giving you outdated information, and you really have to put in the legwork to set yourself up for success. Or you can subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you, and I can give you that jumping off point to where, part of the legwork has already been done for you, and you can take it from there. That's the whole reason why I'm here. It's not to cause any harm or to mislead anyone or to spread falsehoods, as this person said. There's enough of that online, and it's actually one of my pet peeves. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I can't even talk. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you along with my journey. If you haven't checked out my other videos, definitely go check them out. I have a lot of informative, research-based content that can help you while you're on your journey taking a GLP-1 medication. If you're looking for a positive support group, I have you covered. The link is in the description box below. Come join us. I'd love to have you there. And as always, be kind, rewind.